Hello, everybody, and welcome to another live Argentina discussion. A very, very live and very, very different Argentina discussion. My name is Roy Nemer of Mundo Albiceleste.com. I am joined by Osvaldo Godoy, who is outside of Chase Stadium for tonight's match for Inter Miami. Lionel Messi's Inter Miami against the Vancouver Whitecaps. He's going to be at the game. As always, let us know down below where you're watching from. And beginning with you, Osvaldo, how are you? How is everything?
I'm good, Roy. Thank you so much for having me. Yes, we're here at the Inter Miami Stadium. It's a super nice day. It's gonna be a tough one for Inter Miami. We were just talking before we went live. Uh, Inter is 2-0 down against Vancouver, a team that surprised everybody in the first leg, who doesn't have big names, but collectively they're very solid, and they demonstrated on the first leg. And this cup, as we were saying, Roy, it's as it used to be the Champions League and the Libertadores with still the away goal counting kind of twice. So if Inter Miami concedes one goal today, which is likely because the defense is not their best attribute, they will have to score four. So it's gonna be a tough one for Inter Miami. But well, tonight they can also qualify to the final of the CONCACAF Champions League for the first time in their history.
It's a massive one. It's an absolute massive game. As you mentioned, for Inter Miami, a tall task. Two goals down from the first leg, and one goal from Vancouver. They'll require four. So the only way this can go potentially to extra time or penalty kicks is if the match finishes 2-0 for Inter Miami. Getting to the chat, everyone's asking for the lineup. The lineup is out for Inter Miami. Of course, Lionel Messi starts, as does Oscar Ustari and Luis Suarez. Weingart, Falcon, Allen, Alba, Allende, Redondo, Busquets, Segovia, and of course Suarez and Messi, and that's the starting 11 for Javier Mascherano's team. General feeling for you, Osvaldo, and we'll get to the chat as always. General feeling, what do you think? I told you, I think Inter Miami qualify. It's going to be difficult. I see Messi scoring and qualifying. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think they have all the pressure. The lineup is kind of the same one from the first leg, and the strong lineup that Mascherano usually puts. Um, Everything is gonna depend on Messi tonight, and that's how it has been really with Mascherano in the last couple of matches. The team has not been showing the best version of themselves. They lost 4-3 this weekend. It's true that Messi and Suarez didn't play. Um, but I don't know, honestly, if I'm as confident as you or Roy. It's gonna be difficult because again we know that they can score 2-3 goals. The thing is, we'll see if they don't concede. And the truth is that during the first leg, Inter Miami didn't create many chances. Vancouver can be very solid, and having that 2-0 lead, they won't take many risks, to be honest. So it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for sure. A lot of Argentinians, not only Messi, but others like Ustari, Redondo. For sure, it's gonna be a good one.
It's going to be difficult. Yeah, I expect maybe Vancouver will sit back a little bit, try and hit them on the counter. The pressure is on Inter Miami. It's on Mascherano. It's on Messi, of course. So a goal for Vancouver, and it's very, very difficult for Inter Miami. But if Inter Miami can get an early goal, really get the fans behind them, getting them really going, then it's all to play for. So who knows? Who knows?
Let me tell you, Roy, that for tonight, I think it's kind of a record of media people here. It's 150. It's usually like 100 of journalists in the media section. Tonight is 150. There's a lot of expectation for tonight. Hopefully, in a couple of minutes, we'll have some fans telling us a little bit about what they think the score is gonna be. Also, people in the chat can say their guess who's gonna score. Hopefully, Messi scores a couple, but it's gonna be an exciting one.
Oh yes, absolutely, absolutely. Let us get to the chat. So for you, Osvaldo, it's a little bit maybe you're not as confident as I am for Inter Miami. Let us know in the chat down below. What do you guys think? What's the score for Inter Miami going to be like? Will Lionel Messi score, or any Argentine player, for that matter? Will they score? Let's get to the chat. Othniel watching from South Africa. It's 1 a.m. Thank you for spending your late Wednesday night, early Thursday morning with us. Thank you so much. And yes, Messi is in the lineup. Oscar Ustari, also in there as well. He's done well. Otniel saying Messi 2 goals minimum. 2 goals minimum. Who knows? I would love to see 2 goals. I'd love to see a goal from him. But time will tell, of course. We're just under an hour away from kickoff. Osvaldo is at the game, of course, as you can tell. Joel, hey boys, it's so awesome. I love the format. Thank you so much, Joel, for the support. Thank you so much for supporting us. And we got BC in here as well. Argentina BC from NYC. Scorpion saying 4-1. Is this 4-1 for Inter or 4-1 for Vancouver? Scorpion, let us know. Let us know. But yeah, I mean, you mentioned 150 people, from the media, Osvaldo. That's in large part, if we're being honest, that's a big part of the Lionel Messi effect in Inter Miami. So a win tonight or a qualification to the final, and this is massive. This is really, really big for Inter Miami.
Yes. Let me tell you that it's also, of course, it's a huge match for all the Inter Miami team, but especially for Mascherano. I think that Mascherano has been questioned lately of how the team is playing, how they're very Messi dependent, kind of how Argentina was a couple of years ago. So it's going to be a tough test for Mascherano because when you saw the draw and you saw a team like Vancouver getting to the semifinals, which actually it's a team that in the last two legs, the last two matches, they tied all their games and they won in penalties. You would expect Inter Miami to be in the final. So Mascherano has a lot to prove tonight too.
Definitely. Oh yes, 100%. I mean, you mentioned the last match they lost 4-3 without Messi, without Suarez. So almost kind of like a B team or a B team in attack. They still managed to score 3 goals. Defensively, they were not the best, and we'll see if how much of that is a factor tonight. Are the players fatigued? Are they tired? How fresh Messi is going to be? And as you mentioned, for Mascherano, if we're being very, very honest, Inter Miami have not had the most difficult of paths to the semifinals, at least so far, and the pressure is going to be on them, most certainly.
Yeah, you would think that LAFC was in the papers a biggest rival than this Vancouver, and it was actually difficult for Inter Miami. They also had to come back, and Messi was a big part of that, scoring 2 of the 3 goals against Hugo Lloris, a goalkeeper well known by Messi in the last couple of years. We'll see tonight, Roy. We'll see.
We'll see tonight. I love it. I could see a lot more fans entering the stadium behind you, Osvaldo. And Joel's mentioning, says, Osvaldo, who's behind the camera, the quality is top notch. There you are. Excellent. All right. Now, we're talking about semifinals and we're talking about finals, but there was another semifinal match today involving an Argentine player and Lautaro Martinez, another Argentine World Cup champion. Lautaro Martinez and Inter drawing 3-3 in the first leg of the Champions League semifinals against Barcelona. What a game. Truly, truly what a game. We could talk about that 17-year-old, arguably the best player in the world right now, not just for Barcelona, but really in the world, Lamine Yamal. But what a match. We spoke about this off air, Osvaldo. I have my reasons into thinking who's going to make the final, but what a game. It's wow. One of the most entertaining matches I've seen in some time.
Yeah, and it surprised me your prediction, Roy. I know you're a Barcelona fan, but it's gonna be difficult for Barcelona. It's weird because after Inter scoring those 2 goals in the first half, you would think that the tie was a better result in the end for Barcelona. But the truth is that they have to go and play Milan against Inter. It's not gonna be easy. Inter is having a good season with Lautaro Martinez, but it's also true that they lost in the semifinals of the Coppa Italia against Milan 3-0, and they were out of that competition. So they have their matches, they have their moments. Again, in the match of today, which was a great Inter scored the first 2 goals, you were like, oh, this team is incredible. And then they conceded 2 goals. It's true. There was this 17-year-old kid that was just at another level. It reminds me of Messi. I'm not exaggerating. It's just how I think it is. We'll see how he progresses. But that first goal, out of nowhere, puts Barcelona again in the match. It was incredible.
100%. Obviously, Lamine Yamal is the big talking point in the footballing world right now, and specifically after that performance, played very well. Could have easily had another goal or two in the game, but my prediction. I'm saying this as a Barcelona fan, and I would love nothing more than for Barcelona to make the final, go on and winning it. I've had this weird feeling, and not necessarily against Barcelona, but I've had this weird feeling regarding Inter that for the last couple of weeks or maybe even months, I could see them potentially making the final. They've been that dark horse. They're properly set up. They know how to score goals. They know how to defend, of course. And for Barcelona, it's a matter of what's going to happen in La Liga. Are they going to prioritize that? Is it going to be more the Champions League? A big win versus Real Madrid. I think today part of it was maybe fatigue as well. The players played extra time versus Madrid in the Copa del Rey final. But when you have the talent that Lamine Yamal has, it's difficult. You mentioned Messi, and the comparisons are there, of course, and you see glimpses, especially at such a young age. He has been able to turn the game around for Barcelona and get that goal or get that assist or get that run that gets the team going. Still, despite all of that, I could see Inter somehow making the final. It wouldn't be crazy, let's put it that way, and especially considering the second leg is in the San Siro.
No, I'm mentioning something about Lamine Yamal. It's again 17-year-old player that appears in the tough moments, and we know how difficult can it be, especially at that age. And then talking about Lautaro Martinez, who was a key player for Inter in the quarterfinals against Bayern Munich, scoring the first leg and in the second leg. He had to leave the field injured today.
Yeah.
We'll see. They're probably going to do studies to him, and we'll see if he's able to be part of the second leg. But it was a tough loss for Inter in those second 45 minutes of the game today.
No, certainly. And I don't know if it was a matter of maybe they didn't want to risk him or how serious his injury is. As you mentioned, time will tell. We'll see. We'll wait for the results to come out regarding him. Hopefully he gets to play in the second leg. But having that second leg in the San Siro has to be some sort of advantage for Inter. Let's take a look at the chat here. We have Shah Fitness, good day, Roy and Osvaldo and all of the Mundo family. Wow, Osvaldo's in Miami. He certainly is. He's in Florida. Calvin, hello, my friend. Ismail, we were just talking about Lautaro. Unsure if he's going to be out or not. BC mentioning Bojan Kurkic, who, look, Bojan came up as, similar 16, 17-year-old through La Masia for Barcelona, but it was a different talent. Yamal is a different talent from Bojan. Of course, Bojan maybe didn't fully live up to expectations. Calvin saying, I like Inzaghi. He's a very good manager that he is. Shah Fitness, according to ESPN, Lautaro seems doubtful for the second leg. Joel, sorry, Roy, it's Inter in the final. We'll see. We'll see, Joel. BC saying Inter's going to win the Champions League. And Calvin mentioning Lautaro, saying he's been really good for Inter. He scored 2 goals against Bayern in the last tie-ins. One of them a very good goal as well. Now, jumping over from club tournament over to league competition, Alexis Mac Allister winning the Premier League with Liverpool. A big win over the weekend against Tottenham Hotspur. He scored an incredible goal, Mac Allister, now a Premier League winner with Liverpool. In my opinion, the best midfielder in the Premier League, Osvaldo. Osvaldo, I think we're having some technical difficulties.
Yes, can you hear me there, Roy?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Sorry, it was the connection. I think you were talking about Alexis Mac Allister. What a season he had, and what a way to finish that season with that goal in the last match, that incredible 5-1 win against Tottenham. It was really a dream season for him, going from Brighton to Liverpool after the World Cup. I mean, I don't remember. There's some cases of Enzo Fernandez, Julian Alvarez, some players that really, from 1 or 2 years to the next one, they did that jump and were able to maintain that high level constantly being able to improve and win trophies with these huge, huge teams, huge clubs with a lot of history. Mac Allister wearing the number 10 with Liverpool, starting almost every game. It's incredible for him.
He's been up there among the best midfielders, among the best players in the world throughout the entire season. You mentioned, for example, Enzo Fernandez. Enzo, going very, very high form-wise, and maybe dropping a little bit, still in very good form for Chelsea. But overall, Mac Allister, you look at the big goals, you look at the assists, you look at the play, the involvement, and you can tell the fans, the Liverpool fans, Anfield itself, they love him, and he loves the club. He truly does. He posted a message on Instagram afterwards, after winning the Premier League, just talking about Liverpool, talking about the fans, the club itself, and he's someone that's that comes off as very humble, very, very genuine, and just an overall great player, entering his prime right now. Talk about Enzo Fernandez and some of the other players that Argentina have, but for me, probably the Argentine player of the season, alongside Julian Alvarez. It's those two. He's been that good.
Perfect, Roy. I don't know if you can listen to me there properly. Having some issues with the connection. I don't know if there's a chance for you to just be on the screen. Trying to change to the Wi-Fi here from the stadium.
Of course,
if
no
not,
worries.
let me
no
know.
worries.
It's okay.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Here, I'll just turn off your microphone here. Whoop, there you go. There you are. Okay. All right, everybody. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. We have Osvaldo live at the stadium. Now, continuing on about Alexis Mac Allister, let's get to the comment. Ismail saying Alexis is the best Argentine player post-World Cup. It's difficult to argue. Alvarez has been tremendous. Rodrigo de Paul's been good. Cuti Romero, solid. Enzo Fernandez, of course, we've spoken about. Lautaro Martinez, a very, insane. Should have won the Ballon d'Or last year. But something about Alexis Mac Allister, he's been that good. He's been so consistent. Probably the most consistent Argentine player this season. Jim Futbolista, talking about the Premier League. Nicolas Dominguez is also playing well. That he is. Who knows if we get to see him in June for the World Cup qualifiers. We could get some changes there. But maybe we get Nicolas Dominguez there. Calvin, Mac Allister has been the best midfielder this year, consistent throughout the year, and he has delivered the Premier League to Liverpool. That he has, my friend. Shaw Fitness, Alexis Mac Allister becomes the 11th Argentine player to win a Premier League. All right. Off the top of my head, of course, Agüero, Otamendi, Crespo. I'm trying to think off the top of my head right now. Tevez, Micho. I want to say Martin de Michelis as well. There's a couple of others. I'm sure I'm missing some obvious ones, some very, very obvious ones. I'm sure I'm missing. Veron, I believe. Juan Seba Veron with I want to say with United or with Chelsea. But yeah, only 11. Surprising. Hope that he goes to La Liga in a couple of years. That would be interesting. But I feel like Mac Allister is slowly becoming, or maybe quickly becoming, a Liverpool legend. Very, very quickly. There you go, Calvin. Beat me to it. Mac Allister will leave a Liverpool legend, I'm sure. All right, I think we have Osvaldo back. Let's bring him back here. I'm not sure if it's working. Osvaldo, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you, but it's still cutting a little bit. So I think if it's okay, Roy, I think I'm going to let you go. I'm going to go to the stadium, try to get some footage. Maybe then you can also put it here in the show. And
100%.
For sure, we'll hope Lionel Messi and Inter Miami wins today, can go to the final of the CONCACAF Champions, and we see an incredible match today.
Of course. Thank you so much for joining us, Valdo. Thank you. Take care. And anyways, we'll talk throughout the match. Enjoy.
Thank you.
All right. Now, continuing on, Asif saying Alexis is a future Argentina captain. That he is, and someone, in my opinion, that's even worthy of wearing the number 10 shirt for the Argentina national team. Sean Cherry, I'm a big fan, my brother from West Palm Beach, Florida. Thank you so much for joining, Sean, all the way from West Palm Beach. I hope you're enjoying the sun. I hope you're enjoying your Wednesday night, and thank you so much for showing up and leaving a comment. By the way, everybody, whether you're new or not new, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notifications button to be the first person notified as soon as we go live, whether it's on X or on YouTube. Ismail, for June World Cup qualifiers, when can we see the team? Usually this would be middle of May, so we're maybe about 2 to 3 weeks away before getting the team for the June World Cup qualifiers. But stay tuned. We'll have a live discussion about it, and it's going to be up on Mundo Albiceleste. Calvin saying Alvarez, there you go. I told you guys I was missing some obvious ones. Scorpion saying Willy Caballero. I don't believe Caballero won a Premier League. I looked that up a couple of days ago because he was coaching a couple of days ago for Chelsea, and I don't believe Caballero won a Premier League with City, with Manchester City. Alvarez, Sean Cherry, there you go. Gabriel Heinze, there you are. Yes, El Gringo, Heinze. Uchoa with Leicester. Leonardo Uchoa with Leicester. There you go. I love this chat. I love you guys. I don't know if we've made up all the 11 players that have won the Premier League, or 11 Argentine players that have won the Premier League, but we certainly got very, very close if we haven't or if we didn't. Next up, Franco Mastantuono. What a free kick. A tremendous free kick. I mean, you want to talk about talent. You want to talk about young players. Wow. It's not too, like, we always talk about, the European clubs and the players, and we always dive into, South American football. Of course, there's South American leagues, those playing in Brazil, and of course the ones in Argentina. But 17 years old. That free kick, I'm sure everybody's seen it by now. It's been a couple of days. That free kick, and I'm saying this as someone that's not necessarily a River Plate fan. Trust me, the furthest thing from that. If anything, I'm a Boca fan. But I mean, I said this about Thiago Almada a couple of years back before the World Cup in 2022. I said talent is talent. The same thing applies for this kid. You want to talk about 17-year-old talented players, a tremendous free kick from him. Calvin, yes, he truly is incredible. Some talent. Only 17. There's been rumors or unofficial reports that he's going to be part of the Argentina national team in June, coming up for the June World Cup qualifiers. Now, being called up is an achievement in and of itself. Playing would be something else, of course. But wow, the talent there. Of course, River Plate going on and winning the match, winning the Super Clásico, but he stole the show. You look at all the pictures, all the highlights, all the the media coverage. It was all about him. It was truly all about him. Getting to the chat, going back for just a moment here. Pablo Zabaleta, there you go. Pablo presently coaching or part of the Albanian coaching staff. I believe he just left the Albanian coaching staff. But yes, Pablo Zabaleta, another one. Asif saying Zabaleta, de Michelis, Otamendi, Hente. That's some back line. But yeah, going back to this, here you are. I mean, a lot of the big European clubs are all interested. He has a big future. Can't wait to see him in the national team. Hopefully they don't rush him, and I'm not worried about that when it comes to Scaloni rushing in young players. He's always done so well, whether it's during a World Cup or before that or whenever it was. He always does very well with young players. So I'm not worried about him being rushed into the national team. I'm more interested. I mean, the most interesting thing is the national team, but I'm interested in seeing where he goes next, because obviously he's going to leave River Plate. I'm not saying he's going to leave them soon, but you would think a year or 2 or 3 down the line, he's going to be leaving Argentina to go elsewhere. There have been some rumors. Shafin is saying it, getting scouted by Real Madrid. I would not like to see him go to Madrid. Historically speaking, they haven't done too well in recent memory with Argentine players. So I would not like to see him go there. Let me know, where would you like to see him go? Would you like to see him go to Spain, to England, to Germany, to Italy, to France? Let me know. There's been some rumors linking him to France, actually, to PSG. Javier Pastore was at the Emirates Stadium for PSG's 1-0 win versus Arsenal. And, people online were saying, hey, Pastore, go talk to Franco, get him to join the club. Because there have been rumors that PSG are interested. Let's take a look. I know. See, if aren't we getting ahead of ourselves after one or two moments? I know it's exciting and don't want to be a killjoy. No, and then understandably so, of course. Of course. I'm not saying he's the best player in the world or anything like that, but it's nice, when you see a 17-year-old like that, or even an 18-year-old getting some moments, especially in a big game. Especially in a big game. But, I do agree with you, Asif. There have been countless players, 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, 18, even 19, that have had sheer moments of incredible brilliance and then just phased out. So I'm trying not to get ahead of ourselves with him in regards to Franco, but in general he's talented. Obviously he's talented, but that big move wherever he goes next, I think that's going to be a deciding factor in terms of his progress and his progression overall as a player. That next move has to be a smart one, in my opinion. Ismail talking about young players. Nico Paz should stay in Como, and Scorpion saying he should go to Barcelona. All right, Calvin. Not playing wise, but to be with the national team camp, to know the surroundings. Scaloni is a very good manager. He knows the squad that he does. He's been an excellent manager. Fantastic. Shah Fitness saying Franco should go to the Premier League. It's a difficult one. Making the jump completely from South America to the Premier League does not always work out. Sometimes it does, of course, but not always. I would personally like to see him maybe more in Spain before ever going to England, but that's just my opinion. PSG is playing very, very well. That he is, or that they are, excuse me. I mean, they're in the final of, I say they're in the final. They're practically in the final of the Champions League. Excuse me, Arsenal fans. I know there's still the second leg to play. I'm sorry. Nothing against Arsenal. If Arsenal were to make the Champions League final, don't worry. I wouldn't be disappointed. But that's that. Echeverri, right? What's going on with Claudio Echeverri? All right. Sorry, guys. Just getting a message here from Osvaldo. Perfect. All right. Osvaldo's just getting to the stadium. Maybe we'll get some clips of Messi in the stadium, maybe warming up pre-game. Going back with Amta Echeverri, that's another one, right? And there's been rumors, is he going to go to Girona? Was he going to join Girona on loan for Manchester City? Hasn't played. That's the thing. That's the big issue. Whenever a young player or whenever a player joins a club like Manchester City, it's difficult to see them always getting minutes or not getting minutes. It's a difficult one. It truly is a difficult one. Suraj watching all the way from Dallas. All right. Thank you for joining, Suraj, all the way from Dallas, Texas. Thank you so much for supporting my friend. All right. We spoke about Messi. We spoke about Lautaro. We spoke about Alexis. There's so many players, and we continue. But one thing I want to get to is, here we go. Ismail saying Girona is going to get relegated, so maybe Como is currently the best option. Could be. Why not? Let's see. All right. Let's continue on here. Now, we're talking about all the different players and their forms, but the Albiceleste Player of the Month for the month of April, let us know. Go to mundoalbiceleste.com. Vote in the poll. The players or the options are Lautaro Martinez, Matias Soulé, Lionel Messi, Julian Alvarez, Franco Mastantuono, and Alexis Mac Allister. Again, mundoalbiceleste.com to vote for your Albiceleste Player of the Month. Let me know who is your Albiceleste Player of the Month. I got to give this a moment or two to think. So as I do that, let's get to the chat. Calvin saying, I think it's an unlucky situation. He joined Manchester City in their worst season, and the squad is not good. Totally different from when Julian joined. All right. It's very true. When Julian was there, the team was playing well, and obviously they were winning this season. They're not going to win the Premier League. They're not in the Champions League. So in terms of at least those two big trophies, not so much for them. But it's a different club. Who knows what happens next season? Who knows what happens? Now, talking about the Albiceleste Player of the Month, Scorpion saying Soulé, so Matias Soulé, Suraj saying Julian. I might be a little bit more inclined to say maybe Julian Alvarez. Although, at least on the surface of it, you look at Alexis Mac Allister winning the Premier League. It's a difficult, it's very, very difficult to argue, especially considering the goal that he scored in that decisive match against Tottenham. But, Alexis, Julian for me, Messi maybe, but maybe not for this month. Mastantuono, maybe not for this month, at least not for me. Sule, very good for Roma, and of course Lautaro Martinez with Inter, but that's just for me. Paul McChutney, thank you for joining. Paul saying Mac Allister, Calvin saying Alexis, so that's another one. Alexis getting some votes. Alexis certainly getting some votes here. Asif Mahmoud, Guido Rodriguez likely and hopefully on the way out from West Ham. Said it never worked out for him. Hope it works out for him wherever, whether he returns to River Plate or Club America. We'll talk a little bit about Guido. It's an interesting one for me, and I was a little bit surprised when he joined West Ham, just because Guido in general was never the fastest player. Physical maybe, but never the fastest player. And I never saw that he would be able to adapt to the Premier League, to the pace of the Premier League. So, I'm not saying this gleefully. I'm not happy about it, but I'm not surprised that he's probably on his way out from West Ham after one season, just because I don't believe the league is made for him. Now, let's get back to Osvaldo. Osvaldo's in the stadium here, pre-game. Let's bring him on here. There you are, Osvaldo.
Let's do this.
All right, we're just going to mute the microphone from Osvaldo here, but this is live from Chase Stadium. Osvaldo at the game. It's a pre-match warm-up here for Inter Miami against Vancouver Whitecaps in the semifinals, a semifinal game, a spot in the final on the line. Vancouver 2-0 up after the first leg, and it's going to be a big game. Kickoff is just under 30 minutes. It's in 27 minutes, just under 30. Players are out on the field now. It's a live view. Osvaldo at the stadium, of course, and he was just joining us. And let's go back just really quickly to some of the comments here in the chat. Scorpion asking, any rumors about Cuti Romero? He's got to leave Spurs ASAP. Would be a nice transfer. There's been some rumors of him joining Atletico Madrid, that Diego Simeone is interested in him and that they would want him. Whoever gets Cuti, if he does leave Tottenham, whoever gets him is getting one of the best center backs in the world, if I'm being honest. I know he has his moments where people don't like him just because of being hot-headed maybe at times or whatnot, but you'd love to have Cuti Romero in your team. I think any club would. But he's been rumored, there are rumors that Atletico Madrid are interested in getting Christian Romero from Tottenham Hotspur. All right, let's get a little bit of audio here. There you are. Pre-game people still entering the stadium. All right. Now, on that note, I want to say a big thank you. We're going to have some live coverage, of course, of the game of Inter Miami over on X and on MundoAlbiceleste.com. We'll have the report after the match. And make sure to like and subscribe. This video, this channel will have clips up of the pregame, of course, over on YouTube and even on Instagram and on X. So make sure to follow, like, and subscribe. As always, and I want to say a big thank you to everybody. Scorpion saying it's 1:34 a.m. in Amsterdam. Let's go, Miami. Let's go. Let's do it. A big thank you to everybody for joining us. As I mentioned, Lionel Messi and Inter Miami against Vancouver in the semifinals, spot in the final. Mundo Albiceleste in attendance, of course. Osvaldo Godoy was just with us. And Asif saying, after all the achievements, we still want Messi to win more trophies. That we do. We'd love to see Messi continuing to win trophies. On that note, thank you so much, Scorpion. Thank you for joining. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Osvaldo Godoy of MundoAlbiceleste.com at Chase Stadium for Inter Miami's match versus Vancouver. My name is Roy Nemer of MundoAlbiceleste.com. As always, thank you so much. Make sure to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and turn on the notifications to be the first person notified as soon as a new video or live discussion drops. Thank you so much, as always, everybody. Take care. Until next time, Goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you, Joel. Thank you, Calvin. Thank you, everybody, so much. Take care, everybody.